This is gonna be a 5-star match. Get ready for history to be made. All right, first round. What's going to happen? The throw hits. Now the fun begins. Was well in range to score the throw. A dangerous range here. You don't want to get jumped on a long recovery move where you're going to eat tons of damage. Player 1 with the life lead. Can they exploit this advantage? Goes for the throw. Knockdown. Great block on that ambiguous cross-up. Spot on blocking. Checks him with the projectile. I wonder how both fighters will adapt to what we've seen so far. Player 1 chases him down. Knockdown. At this range, many attacks can connect if you stick something out. The neutral game is very important. Experiencing burnout. Closes the gap. Wraps it up with a decisive combo. Player 2 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Sprints in. Big throws. Zweii kick for a mix-up. They timed that just right to get the perfect pay. Perfect read with the drive parry. Super art on deck for both fighters. How they approach this, uses the gauge for a super art. Uses the gauge for the super. They're not playing around here. Big super art hit. It's on. This may be it. Manages to block the jump-in attack. Both fighters planning something? They must have a game plan here with a critical art on deck, but executing that plan is the key. Threads it cleanly. That was a clinic on how a solid neutral game wins.
Round 1. Fight.
Let's see what these fighters have up their sleeves out of the gate. Checks with the projectile.
How's this?
Okay, we're in the early stages of the round. Both fighters are pretty much unscathed. How are they going to deal damage? What's the play here? The throw hits. Now the fun begins. Player 2 pushes the opponent into the corner. Keeping them in the corner will only produce more damage opportunities. At this range, many attacks can connect if you stick something out. The neutral game is very important. Takes a trip. Box him with a target combo. Strings it all together. Life lead opens up. Burnout activates. Player 2 has completely used all of their drive gauge, but they still have enough life left to take the round if they play smart. Oh god, this is tense. They're going for the super grants it cleanly. Player 1 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. They've piled up the knowledge. Now, how are they going to use it? Jumps up. Early round decisions are so important to set the tone. Both fighters are looking for a way to get in, but there's still time to feel out the situation. They're waiting for the opportunity to bust this match wide open. Player 1 will look to apply pressure here. Jumps in. Experiencing burnout. Hits him with a bag of... That back row was huge. Player 1 is barely hanging in there, but can still... Oh no, they're stunned. Vagabond Edge connects. Noticeable life lead. Is a comeback still possible? Player 1 is in a very good spot now.
Bad mistake.
Doesn't take the throw. We're going into the final round tied up. Which fighter has it in them to grind out the win? The super doesn't hit. Changing up the beat with a hidden variable. Shows the medium kick. Which fighter will control the pace of the match early on? Player 1 is working with a better gauge. What can they do with it? What separates the good from the great in this game is smart gauge management. Oh, the throw connects. Both fighters planning. The throw is denied. Jeez, how can they read each other so well? Dangerous range here. Arc step. Good job escaping that dangerous corner situation. Player 2 is barely crowns him from above. Are they going to be able to come back and stack? There's a burnout. Catches out the gauge right there. This is going to hit for a critical art. You gotta imagine that this is not only going to wreck their life bar, but also their nerves. Oh, yo, raw super hit. Player 2, protect your neck. Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Tatsu's out of the quick dash. Player 2 needs to use the threat of the corner here. Keeping them in the corner will only produce more damage opportunities. Easily escapes. Brushes off the throw. Combo with the target combo. Still slugging it out here. Goes for the throw. Good work staying in throw range there. Player 1 creates a good corner opportunity.
Heat it up!
Checks him with the projectile. Near the end of the round, will the drive gauge pave the way? Experiencing burnout. Player 1 is gonna have to wait for that. Goes for the super art. Gets the counter hit for the win. They're so good at whip punishing. Player 2 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? The grab misses. Gets the jump in. Extra spicy, sure you connect. Still scrapping for control of the space. There's a change of sides. Gets out of the corner. Player 2 has the life lead. Can they use it? Gets out of there with a back dash. Breaks the block with a throw. A quick breather. Player 2 will look to apply pressure here. That back throw was huge. Risky up-close scrap still going. Ooh, you never know what can clutch anti-air. Super art to show them what a PhD fighters can do for you. Beats them down with the super. Now that's how you take a round. Player 2 brings it home.
Round 1. Fight!
The first round begins. No time to save that stuff for nationals. It's time to go all in. Nice cross-up. Rattles them with a beautifully placed jump in. Player 1 pushes the opponent into the corner. Buys some time by driving them into the corner. And now they can create some big chances to do damage here. So they break forward to pressure the opponent. Both sides backing off to form their game plan. Can't tech the throw. What a clutch side switch there. Now they need to capitalize on this chance. Not much drive gauge to work with for both fighters. Burnout activates. Player 2 has completely used all of their drive gauge, but they still have enough life left to take the round if they play smart. Experiencing KO. Player 2 wins the first round and is now riding a huge wave of momentum. Checking their reactions with a fireball. Combo with the target combo. Tries to catch him out with the arc step. James' big opening ready to be taken advantage of after that parry. Nails the parry. Now it's their turn to press button.
Bring in the heat!
Scared money don't make no money. Spins it all for the Kimberly rip-out. Big super arc hit. It's on. Player 1 is in a pretty good situation with a meter advantage. What separates the good from the great in this game is smart gauge management. Not much life difference. Looking to impress with this super. Confirms the Bushin Ninja Star Stun. The damage and attack boost off this will really tip things in their favor. Ends the round with a sick combo. Amazing. We're going into the final round tied up. Which fighter has it in them to grind out the win? Final round. Goes out of sight. Arc step. Excellent. Not looking good. The corner's a bad place to be. Player 1 with the rhythm, owning that this is gonna hurt. Going in. Overhead. Over in a flash. Gotta hand it to both of our fighters. They put on a real clinic for us. We're here in the first round. Which one of them will let their fists do the talking? Combo with the target combo. The quarter makes it hard to escape. What'll be the setup here? Buy some time by driving them into the corner. And now they can create some big chances to do damage here. Player 2 is using their drive liberally. A depleted drive gauge will really limit their options here. Smart meter management is one of the keys to winning, so they'll have to keep tabs on that if they want to win this match. Player 2 sets the tone with that win. Let's see if they can keep it up. How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? Slips the grab. Jeez, how can they read each other so well? Big throws. Avoids getting stuck in the corner somehow. Does a good job escaping the corner. You've got to be mindful of reach and jump-ins at this range. Jumps. Hits him with a vagabond edge. Knockdown and aerial Tatsu. Fireball into the corner. They're trying to force the opponent into making a mistake. Dashes. Throws them. Both fighters planning something? There's a wall splat. They can't do anything now. Life lead is there, but still anyone's game. Oh, no question whether this super art is going to kill him. There it is. They knew it'd be enough. Player 2 brings it home.
Round 1. Fight.
Time to get down to business. The first round starts now. Sees the overhead coming and blocks it. Goes for the fireball. Any developments early in the round will set the table for the rest of the fight. We're still in the early going, and it's really anyone's fight. How are they going to deal damage? What's the play here? Player 1 pushes the opponent into the corner. Huge opportunity here with no way to backdash out of danger. Solid combo. Decent damage. What's next? Combo with the target combo. Taking stock. In a dire situation, they can't afford any mistakes. All right, what's coming up next? Throws them to negate the block. Player opts for the throw to close it out. Player 2 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? Things are slow going right now, but we may see someone speed things up soon. Keeping track of the opponent's movements, waiting for a good opening. Jump! Very slick with the combo. Quick dashing. Ends the meter, hoping for a good return. Oh yeah, that's what I like to see! Ripper! They must have a game plan here with a critic flawless run. They got him so quick. That was a clinic on how a solid neutral game wins matches.
Round 1. Fight.
This is crucial. The opening round is about to begin. Denies the attack, and parrying attack like that is risky, but the reward is the drive gauge building up. Uncomfortable space here. Can they clip each other on the edge? Player 2 pushes the opponent into the corner. Keeping them in the corner will only produce more damage opportunities. The throw hits. Now the fun begins. Was well in range to score the throw. Throws them to negate the block. They're jostling for the dominant position in the corner. All right, what's coming up next? Baits out the attack and gets the punish counter. Heading in, and a super activation. Ends the round with a sick combo. Amazing. Player 2 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? Zweii kick for a mix-up. Stops the attack by using a drive parry. Hidden variable? Things are slow going right now, but we may see someone speed things up soon. They're waiting for the opportunity to bust this match wide open, keeping them away. So they break forward to pressure the opponent. From up above, you can open up chances to do big damage by baiting something out, getting that opening, and then jumping in. Player 2 needs to use the threat of the corner here. They gotta be careful not to overextend or their opponent might go for a side switch. And whips! They're wide open! Turns out! Wraps it up with a decisive combo. Player 2 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak.
Round 1. Fight.
We're finally ready to begin this long-awaited fight. Our players look primed and ready. Can't tech the throw? There's a corner shoot. Does not want to get stuck in the corner. Checks with the projectile. Ooh, will they hit, whiff, or even charge in? Tricky territory here. They gotta escape from the corner before the pressure builds up. Good job here in giving themselves a chance to gain the upper hand. Parries to cancel the fireball. Throws them. What's next? What a clutch side switch there. Now they need to capitalize on this chance. Medium kick hit. This is a critical point of beats it up with a combo into super. Neither fighter can land the deciding hit. This is the perfect range to reach out and tag them with something. Tries to catch him out with the arc sting. Good job escaping that dangerous corner situation. It's a good spot to use the super. Bushin beats assaults and ends the round with a sick combo. Amazing. Player 1 with the first strike, but they can't get complacent. Medium kick. Are we going to see some fireworks here? Will this super arc connect? Comes crashing down on them with some Bushin beats. Starting something with the super. Hidden variable? Goes for a projectile to try and change the pace. You know their fireball game is solid because they're only throwing it when the opponent can't jump them. Very slick with the combo. Knockdown and player 2 can't use any drive moves without burning out. Side switch hits them with a stop and block. Player 2 has an empty drive gear. This is a very precarious situation. Throw tag! Hopes with a medium kick. Can they create an opportunity for themselves to seal the deal? Bends the meter, hoping for a good return. Comes crashing down on them with some good heads-up play, going for that combo to do enough damage to finish the round. Player 1 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak.
Round 1. Fight.
The first round begins. No time to save that stuff for nationals. It's time to go all in. Boxing with a target combo. Backs them into the corner. Huge opportunity here with no way to backdash out of danger. Goes for a projectile to try and change the pace. This is the range where things get messy. Can they utilize their reach or bait each other out? Goes for the throw. All right, what's coming up next? Good job blocking the jumping. They're showing us just how patient they can be. The drive impact doesn't get them to punish counters, but it's still good. Player 1 is maintaining the corner position for some juicy damage. Gets backed into the corner with pressure building. Hits him with a vagabond edge. Player 2 will have to fight back here without any drive. Ooh, that was a sweet read. One shot is all both fighters. Finishes with the throw. Player 2 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. Everything up until now, and everything from here on out, is so vital. Changing up the beat with a hidden variable. Things are slow going right now, but we may see someone speed things up soon. Keeping track of the opponent's movements, waiting for a good opening. Player 1 holding on to that corner advantage. Big opportunity now in this perfect KO. They were in full control there. Last round, people. Both fighters gotta go all in from this point. The last round. It's now or never. Still plenty of time left. Throw connects and does big damage. Hits them with the counter throw. All the throw connects. Knockdown and plenty of health. Full gauges. Let's go. This is where smart meter management is going to come into play. Our fighters will need to tread carefully. Dangerous range here. Player 2 is barely hanging on. Putting the cherry on top. Spends it all on the super. Not shy one bit about it. Super! That's what we want to see. Closes it out. Player 2 was an absolute beast in that match.
Round 1. Fight.
We're here in the first round. Which one of them will let their fists do the talking? Jinrai kick for a mix-up. Early round decisions are so important to set the tone. They gotta escape from the corner before the pressure builds up. What's the play here? Forward throw to continue the pressure. their super art gauge is running on empty. That's going to be a big factor in how this match plays out. They're jostling for the dominant position in the corner. A comeback's going to be tough now. Can they do it? Player 1 is maintaining the corner position for some juicy damage. Hits them with a vagabond egg. Life lead opens up. Quarter, there's the wall splat. They can't do anything now. Who will capitalize on an opening first? Genius read. Player 1 KO. Player 2 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. Zones with the fireball. Throws them to negate the block. Jump? Neither of them willing to back off here. Super on deck for both fighters. Expect to see some fireworks. Player 1 needs to use the threat of the corners here. They gotta be careful not to overextend or their opponent might go for a side switch. G-right kick for a mix-up. Do they have enough drive gauge? Drive gauge is almost empty. They gotta be careful. We're at a standstill, but we may see an eruption soon. Life lead is there, but experiencing burnout. Ends the meter, hoping for a good return. Oh, no question whether this super art is going to kill him. Taking no prisoners. Last round, people. Both fighters gotta go all in from this point. Open with a jump in. It's time for both fighters to lay it all on the line. Topsy's out of the quick dash. Player 2 is in a very good spot now. Big chance here to do some damage if they can keep the corner pressure up. Throws them. How long can this offensive assault continue? Bring in the heat. Spends it all on the super. Not shy one bit about it. This might be a pivotal super art. Keeps them out. Flatlines them. Gotta hand it to both of our fighters. They put on a real clinic for us.
Round 1. Fight.
Time to get down to business. The first round starts now. Extra spicy Shoyu connects. Player 2 chases them down. Huge opportunity here with no way to backdash out of danger. Combo with the target combo. Player 2 is just about out of drive after that. The damage is really piling up now. You can see how cornering your opponent is such an effective game plan. Good job blocking the jump in. They're showing us just how patient they can be. Knockdown. KO. Player 2 ticks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Player 1 creates a good corner opportunity. Keeping them in the corner will only produce more damage opportunities. Tries to catch them out with the arc stab. Hits them with a vagabond edge. Ends the meter, hoping for a good return. Uses the gauge for the super. They're not playing around here. Player 2 can't use any drive moves without burning out. Drive gauge gap here. Player 2 is in a pretty good situation with a meter advantage. Zones with the fireball. Oh, they're in the corner now. No running away. They must have a game plan here with a critical art on deck, but executing that plan is the key. Going in? Gotta be careful not to whiff at this range. Goes out of sight. Are we all the throw connects? What'll happen here? And eats it. Closes it out. This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks. The last round. It's now or never. Hits him with a vagabond edge. Ooh, what a smart throw. Takes advantage of the hesitation and gets some good damage in return. Player 2 goes out of sight. Carries them all the way to the corner and one corrects them. Oh, stun. Bad news is on the way. They are in a real bad situation here. Look at the burns out. Flatline zone. Player 1 is a force to be reckoned with.
Round 1. Fight.
Time to get down to business. The first round starts now. Hits him with a vagabond edge. No more drive gauge. Player 2 has used up all of their drive gauge. Oh, can they survive this badly timed burnout? Player 2 needs to deal with this burnout. We have one player in burnout state, which means they'll have to continue to fight temporarily without using any drive-reliant moves. Player 2 is maintaining the corner position for some juicy damage. Life lead opens up. Burnout activates. Checks with a medium kick. Okay, creating some space, snipes him out the air. Player 2 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. Close them. What's next? How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? Extra spicy Shoyu connects. Player 2 needs to use the threat of the corner here. They gotta be careful not to overextend or their opponent might go for a side switch. Uses the game for the super. They're not playing around here. Oh, let's go. With breather. Player 1 will need to use the KO. Player 2 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak.
Round 1. Fight.
The first round begins. No time to save that stuff for nationals. It's time to go all in. Checks with the projectile. Not much damage dealt so far, but they may be looking for an opening to run with. How are they going to deal damage? What's the play here? Player 1 chases them down. Buys some time by driving them into the corner. And now they can create some big chances to do damage here. Box him with a target combo. Adds on a bit extra to that to make sure the opponent walks away with a full plate. What a finish. Great lead in the life gauge there. Player 1 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. Steps back to start things off. Projectile to try and change the situation. Good job blocking the jump in. They're showing us just how patient they can be. Player 2 creates a good corner opportunity. Keeping them in the corner will only produce more damage opportunity. Timely side switch there, which will let him go on the attack. Takes a trip. Jumps. Hits him with a stopping bomb. There's the drive impact that's going to lead to a juicy punish count. It's a good spot to use the super. Start the tunes, because Kimberly's ready to feast. Bushin Ninja Star Cypher. And this is only the beginning. Player 2 is working with a better game. Ooh, what's this? What's gonna happen? Baits out the attack and gets the punish counter. Knockdown and burnout activates. Protect your neck. They continue to battle it out in the middle of the stage. Player 2 will need to use their meter here wisely. Life lead is there, but overhead, but it won't work. Wrong critical. What's gonna happen? Drive parry. Don't KO. Player 1 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves.
Round 1. Fight.
We're finally ready to begin this long-awaited fight. Our players look primed and ready. Projectile to try and change the situation. Well, they managed to escape the corner, but they can't let their guard down. Ooh, will they hit, whiff, or even charge in? Tricky territory here. Very nice anti-air there. They read their opponent like a book. Consistent anti-air is huge because shutting down the air game will let you dictate the pace of the match much easier. Both sides backing off to form their game plan. Combo with the target combo. Taking stock. Heading into the end game now. Hold your breath. This is gonna be bad news. Adds a little super juice into this combo for more damage. Comes crashing down on them with some Bushin beat. They're going for the super art. This dragon KO. Player 2 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. No knockdown as the low heavy is blocked. Hits them with a vagabond edge. Risky up close scrap still going. There's a change of side. Steals back a chance. Rushes that off and keeps going. Quick dashing. Ups the damage on that by opting to go for the overdrive on it. Player 2 will look to apply pressure here. Big chance here to do some damage if they can keep the corner pressure up. Max SA gauges, unbelievably in sync with a chance to score big here. Medium kick. How's this? This is gonna hurt. KO. Player 2 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak.
Round 1. Fight.
We're finally ready to begin this long-awaited fight. Our players look primed and ready. Player 2 chases him down. Throws him down. Steps in for the throw. Still slugging it out here. Sticks the combo. Decent damage. What's next? Parries the attack. Got their eye on the air. Gets the jump in. Solid combo. KO. Player 2 takes up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. Checks him with the projectile. Can't tech the throw. Gets out of that jam with a perfect parry. Amazing read to flash the parry just in time to catch the attack. Player 1 creates a good corner opportunity. Big chance here to do some damage if they can keep the corner pressure up. Jumps. Grabs and throws him away. A quick breather. This is the ideal range to utilize the fireball here. Good distance for a shot. Max, it's a good spot to use the super. Uses the game for the super. They're not playing around here. Player 2 reads the throw and escapes. They're taking a step back to slow down the pace. Throws a fireball. So, what's next? Finishes with the throw. This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks. How's this? Final round. Who will the fighting game gods favor here? Zweii kick for a mix-up. Both fighters read the jump in perfectly. This unleashes a big damage. Bring in the heat. Spends it all on the super. Not shy one bit about it. Make smart use of nothing stops this train. Player 2 burns out. That combo finishes it. Gotta hand it to both of our fighters. They put on a real clinic for us.